Let's cross to Canberra now and catch up with the Liberal member for Flinders, Zoe McKenzie. Good to talk to you again, Zoe. Tell us about these unemployment figures. They're unbridled good news for the economy and the country, aren't they?
Well, unless you're living in it. So, yes, unemployment goes down to 3.7% today, but the lived experience, the way people are living in my electorate, they're still doing it really, really tough. You know, in one of my community services, the amount of money that they spend on food packages that go out the door every day has more than doubled in the last year. So, and that some of the people who turn up needing assistance with bread, with meals, with rice, they are actually working. So people are doing it really hard. Their spending power has gone down by 7%. Their electricity and gas bills are up by 20 and 27% respectively. They're doing it tough. What this also means, though, is there's less likelihood that the RBA will drop rates.
Yeah, that's the real problem.
You already need to... Exactly. You already need to earn more than $150,000 to afford even an entry-level home in my electorate. And if you're paying $24,000 more on the average mortgage every year, you know, they'll be going, thanks for the job, but life isn't getting any easier. That's the real issue.
Well, riddle me this, because we're all concerned about an immigration rate that seems to be out of control at the moment. New figures out there today confirm that we've got a net migration rate again running more than 500,000 a year. That's record levels. Yet we've still got this low unemployment. How is that happening? Obviously, it's adding to the housing crisis. Why isn't it adding to the unemployment rate?
Yeah, interestingly, I mean, during the COVID era, we needed staff more than anything else once Victoria opened up again. That was my number one need down on the Mornington Peninsula. We needed more workers. That is now alleviating a little bit now, but that's because some businesses are actually going out of business and therefore there's not as much demand. But at the same time, you've got a government that's cut $300 million worth of infrastructure out of my electorate when it comes to roads, rail, public transport. So bringing in 3 Airbus 380s a day of new migrants whilst cutting infrastructure on the other hand. So they're getting jobs. We need them in critical skill areas. We need them in trades, especially because we keep telling everyone it's university or bust. We desperately need them in critical parts of the productive Australian economy. But at the same time, to deny the infrastructure, I think it's going to mean people have places to live and an ability to get to work. It's madness. Yeah,
this is the really perplexing thing at the moment, and which confirms, of course, that immigration is not being managed properly, because we have record rates of immigration, yet we still have skill shortages. So we certainly should be bringing in the right people to plug those skills gaps. That's not happening, yet we've got record rates, which could be very problematic. Most people on the right of politics, on the coalition, are talking about this immigration problem. Even the Greens and the environmentalists have it. I think Labor's even starting to say now they really need to pull back on immigration. So that's actually got Pauline Hanson today, harking back 20 years. It's almost 30 years since she first went into Parliament, saying that she was right all along. Here's Pauline Hanson today.
Here's what I said in my maiden speech as the member for Oxley. In 1996, immigration must be halted in the short term so that our dole queues are not added to by, in many cases, unskilled migrants not fluent in the English language. I also warned we were in danger of being swamped by immigration from Asia. I was called racist, of course, by the major parties and big media who are in lockstep of a big Australia. But today, 7 out of the top 10 source countries for immigration to Australia are in Asia, including 4 out of the top 5, and the numbers are out of control. Was I right?
Yeah, she reckons she was right, Zoe. And look, she's a good friend of this program. We speak to her most weeks, but she's expressing herself a little bit differently now to what she did back in 96. Here's what she said in 96.
Immigration must be halted in the short term so that our dole queues are not added to. I believe we are in danger of being swamped by Asians. Of course I will be called racist.
Yeah, and it was that phrase, swamped by Asians, that really raised the hackles of people around the country. But is she right when it comes to immigration? Have we failed to have a proper orderly system, both in numbers and in the types of people we're bringing in?
Look, I think we are a country that has manifestly benefited from immigration. We had 100 new people become Australian citizens in my electorate last week on the Mornington Peninsula. Immigration in my area tends to still be from England, the UK, Ireland, and parts of Western Europe. And it's that blend that makes us such a strong place. But you cannot do it without the proper investment. And as we know, there was hundreds of millions of dollars cut out of investment that would be enabling people to make a productive contribution to Australia, enabling them to get into a job, to get around, to study, whatever they needed to do. We need to plan much better for the skill shortages that we have. We need to plan for a diversity of source countries to come in here that keeps us this wonderful place to be. Infused by different cultures from all over the world. So it needs a lot of planning, and frankly, I'm not seeing much planning. In fact, I'm not seeing much control at all in terms of migration at the moment.
Exactly.
And certainly no proper investment.
Yeah, it's shambolic, and we want to be filling those skills gaps, number one, as a priority of that system. Thanks for joining us, Zoe. Appreciate it.